A new initiative in Sydney is helping young people find love.
When Joe was about 15, he came and said he wanted a boyfriend. And I said, "Do you know what that means?" And he sort of looked a bit bewildered, and I tried to explain.
Completely nervous, not bewildered.
Oh, okay, completely nervous. Well, you didn't have to be completely nervous.
When Mary McMahon's son Charitha told her he was gay, she soon realised there were no spaces in Sydney where young LGBTQI people with intellectual disabilities could go to try to find romance.
I rang a number of organisations and clubs, and they all said they were really sorry, but they didn't have anything for people like Char. So we decided as a family, the only thing we could do was to try and start something ourselves.
With a small grant from the Run project, part of the state government-funded My Choice Matters, the Rainbow Bridge Social Club was started. It's the first club of its kind in New South Wales.
We provide grants of up to $5,000 to people with disability or their families to basically run a project that they tell us will give them more choice in their life, a stronger voice in their life, or more control over their life.
And what did you think when Mary and Charitha first came to you with the idea?
Yeah, how exciting, right? It's very cool.
The team at the Run project recognised the value of the Rainbow Bridge Social Club.
This one was a little bit different because it was a space that there was really nothing that we were aware of as an alternative for them. Both locally and, across Sydney.
The group had its first meeting earlier this year, where Charitha welcomed people with a speech. He also met someone special.
Tom is a really good, friendly person with me, and we usually get along to having a chat.
He's a good dancer.
Yeah, he's a great dancer.
That's important, I think.
Yeah, he's fantastic looking.
Mary McMahon says it's important that the sexual desires of young people with intellectual disabilities are recognised.
The problem is, I think, that some parents, I shouldn't say a lot, but some parents like to think that somehow their children are asexual, or that they think about sex all the time, but they try and sort of keep them away from forming partnerships, sexual relations. And the one thing when you are around people with intellectual disabilities is that they are just the same as everybody else. Their feelings, what they'd like in their lives, and they all want to be happy and they all want to have partners.
Another idea driving the Rainbow Bridge Social Club is to team up with local cafes in Sydney's inner west to provide designated meeting areas for young people with intellectual disabilities to socialise, not just with each other, but with the wider community. They're getting ready to approach local businesses.
We could put maybe a sticker on their front window that would indicate that that it was a safe place for them to come and just sit down, and that they would go with a support worker so that everyone knew what was expected of them until they could go by themselves. And that would be another way for them to sort of get out and socialise, because a lot of people, young people with intellectual disabilities, live quite isolated lives, especially once they leave school.
Though it's only in its early days, Mary and Charitha have big plans for the Rainbow Bridge Social Club.
We hope that it goes on, and long after I'm gone, I hope that it's still it's an organisation that will still stay, and and that there will be lots of people who have a really good time there.
Yeah.